In 2007, Yasu and Bea visited Bako for the first time. They were just married, so it was a sort of mini honeymoon. Here is a video Yasu shot on the boat.
Okay, why don't you explain what's going on here?
We're on our way to Bako now, and then we are caught in the low tide. The boatman is pushing our boat right now, so we're trying to get past this sandy banks and reach to the open sea.
I can see that another boat.
And those are the few boats that went ahead of us an hour ago. They're still stuck.
Kita kena tunggu lama lagi tak?
Tidak lama. Kita tunggu sampai air pasang. Pasang akan berganti surut. Air kadang naik, kadang turun. Pelancong yang bising tadi mesti tidak jauh dari sini.
Apa maksudnya mereka masih tersangkut sejak keluar jeti?
Nun sana, kami boleh nampak dia orang. Kita boleh potong dia orang. Mau lompat dengan dia orang kah?
Hei! Ceteknya!
6 years after our first trip to Bako National Park, we were back to shoot our feature film Nota. That was in 2013.
And here we are again.
It's quite obvious, isn't it? We created the story of Nota based on our experiences.
Yeah, I guess we always use our own experiences to create the story. We can even create a fictional story based on them.
Storytellers need to have an objective point of view because storytelling is a technique with which we communicate with the audience.
Emotion is a strong weapon to reach the audience. But if the story is too personal, you might have a hard time to be objective. It's not easy.
How much should we use our own experiences to create a story? Where does a good idea comes from, anyway?
Today, we will explore deeper into ourselves.
Genre, structure, and audience. Every single day, we communicate by exchanging our stories, controlling these three elements of our story almost subconsciously. Some stories can make us cry. Some stories can make us laugh. Stories are an important part of our lives. However, when we sit in front of a computer screen or a blank paper to write a story, we tend to get stiff, forgetting these three simple aspects easily. Why? We question and think too much? Or we are not ready to tell or write the story. What is a good story anyway?
How time flies. Many things have changed since we were here years ago. Yes, many things I remember clearly. The visitor center behind me used to be a wooden building. Many things I have forgotten too. Our memories can form a core idea for a story, but our memories don't always stay the same.
Selamat pagi. Jenak kita tidur malam tadi.
Selamat pagi. Kita jumpa lagi ya.
Ya. Ini hari kita ambil trek mana?
Tak berapa jauh lah. Cuma nak menikmati pemandangan je. Okey. Jumpa lagi ya.
When we were here in 2007, the first thing that amazed me was the unique environmental setting of the national park. As the river connects directly to the ocean, the tide difference in this area is extreme. When it's low tide and high tide, the scenery looks totally different. To capture the right moment for each scene, we needed to study the tide table very carefully. We dealt with Mother Nature to create our shooting schedule. I was amazed to see the cycle of nature visually. In that moment, my imagination started to expand and I was motivated. Maybe I can write some interesting story with this setting. This kind of motivation can be the first step of creation.
Rezeki kami di kampung ini ikut masa, air naik dan air turun. Ikut pasang surut air.
Ikut masa.
Ya, ikut masa, musim. Hidup pun ikut musim. Macam sungai, ada pasang surut. Cuaca, kadang hujan, kadang panas, kadang mendung. Macam bulan, kadang timbul, kadang tenggelam. Hidup di kampung penuh dengan pantang larang. Kalau kuasa dan pantang larang ya kita langgar, sengsara hidup kita nanti.
We experience something new almost every day. Let's imagine these experiences as pieces of puzzle. This piece of experience is our precious assets. This piece of puzzle can be the origin of a story.
Bea and I really enjoyed our Bako trip years ago. We had a good time and I was amazed to see majestic nature. Yes, this experience is definitely the origin to the story of Nota. But this one piece was not enough to make an interesting story. So I used another piece of puzzle to make the story more interesting. Bea and I really enjoyed our Bako trip years ago. But this piece of puzzle was not enough to make an interesting story. So, to create the story of Nota, I needed another piece of puzzle.
40-second pictures feature film Nota is about a couple facing midlife crisis. They struggle after prolonged lack of real communication caused by years of failure at trying to have a baby.
Our international marriage of two cultures was not easy for both of us in the beginning.
We argued and fought a lot.
As we married at a late age, we could not have children. It was not easy to deal with our personal struggles and emotional ups and downs. It was painful and heartbreaking at times.
That's why it's very important to take time to digest the experience within ourselves first. Let time work for you. Sometimes it might take years before you can have an objective view of your own experience.
Don't rush it. It is the organic process of creation.
Our memory are very interesting creatures.
Let's see how we dealt with these pieces of experience.
Welcome to the factory of creation, our brain. Some scientists say we use only a few percentage of our brain. Especially, our subconscious mind is mysterious territory. It could be an unlimited resource for stories.
Every day, we experience something. Some incidents are new. Some incidents are similar to something in the past. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. Everything we experience is a part of our lives, a part of ourselves.
At night, when we sleep, sometimes we have dreams. While we are sleeping, our brain never wastes time. Actually, this is the time that our brain sorts out all our daily memories. Some memories are stored deeper as long-term memories. Some are erased to clear the space for new memories.
The interesting thing is, as time passes, our memories can change, like a piece of puzzle changes its shape. Our memory is not accurate like a computer, right? It is an organic process, and I believe this process is priceless to create a story. One day, you know what happens? You wake up and an excellent idea comes to your mind. This is called inspiration. It is like a gift from the heaven. This is a moment when two different pieces of puzzle connect seamlessly. Countless scientists, artists, and musicians. Many people created masterpieces of art and invention with such inspiration.
Happy Bako trip. Early struggles in marriage. One day, these totally different puzzles are connected to create one story. The human brain is amazing, isn't it? Maybe the story that you create will be even more intriguing and unique if these two pieces of puzzle are a mismatch. You don't have to force yourself to squeeze out a story. It won't be convincing for the audience. That kind of story can be preachy.
Kamal,
Apa dia?
anak cakap dengan you sikit.
Pasal apa?
Pasal nota yang you tulis tu.
There is no one best or correct way to create a good story. Sometimes a good story can be created with just a situation or by accident. What do you guys think? Through our history, many great stories were created. Some are forgotten, some are still told among us through the years. Is it by accident? I just want to share my case with you because I'm always fascinated by how our experience reflects in our creation without realizing it. All memories, good and bad, will be resources for our creation.
Creating a story is a long, slow process. Some people spend months, even years, just on research. Research makes your story more layered and richer. But you cannot put everything into your story, as your story is not an encyclopedia. Research is not only collecting information and knowledge from books or the internet. You can do live research. Talk to people with knowledge about your topics. You can get more vivid atmosphere from real location and information from experts. After you do research on a certain topic, then you will have to sort out all the information and select only information that the audience needs to know to enjoy your story. I think research is very important and very much needed. It is a show of respect for the audience too.
Angin bertemu laut. Di situlah tempatnya.
Wow, I'm finally here. The climactic scene for Nota was shot on this cliff. Even after I finished making Nota, I'm still surprised at finding out a lot of tiny details of my creation within the movie are from my old memories, even as a child. You know, it's interesting. When I came to the national park for the first time, actually I didn't come here. This is the only place I didn't visit, but I still wrote the script of Nota with this cliff. This fence was not at that time. So it was started with all my imagination. Only later I came here and found out, my God, this is a perfect cliff.
Ingatkan awak pakar waktu pasang surut air.
Tak ada yang kekal. Masa dan musim pun sentiasa berubah, Puan Erin.
Boleh tak jangan panggil saya Puan?
Kami minta maaf. Kami ada satu cerita untuk ngeberita.
Tolong jangan kongsi dongeng yang bukan-bukan.
高瀬舟は京都の高瀬川を上下する小舟である。徳川時代に京都の罪人が遠島を申し渡されると、本人の親類が牢屋敷へ呼び出されて、そこで祝い事をすることを許された。
Takasebune is a famous Japanese novel about a boatman who transports a criminal to prison through a river. When director Yasu was in elementary school, he read this short story in a school textbook. At that time, he never imagined, years and years later, he would make the scene with a boatman that is similar to the unique setting like Takasebune. The classic movie, A Place in the Sun, has a memorable scene of a murder in the middle of the pond. Is that scene stuck in director Yasu's subconscious mind for years? Before he created the similar scene in his own film.
Fragments of memories are stored deep in our subconscious minds. And somehow, years later, we are using those memories without realizing it. Amazing, isn't it?
Indeed, storytelling is an organic process. That's why the craft of storytelling will always need the human touch.
Yes, if we can access our subconscious mind wisely, we might find out a totally different way to create a story. I'm very excited to think about such stories.